Good morning, everybody. You are tuned to Computers 2K now on the Nissan Communications Network. I'm Amnon, your host for the next couple of hours, along with Spence.
Good morning.
Good morning. Gal is up north, out of town, so he's not going to join us. Nick,
how far north is he?
Huh?
How far north is he?
New York.
Oh, okay.
Nick may join us. I mean, I didn't hear from him, but with Nick, with his schedule, it's kind of hard to tell. Our number is 919-518-9773, Computers 2K Voice on Skype. And today's show is made possible by vMix Software, by DudeandIT.com, and is sponsored by Tom Sinclair of Live Streaming Gear.
And introducing today, the new CS2K Network Vitamins. Subscribe today. Just add one every day to your network, and your network will be healthy.
Oh, Spence.
Why not?
Yep.
But
so what else is happening?
Oh, it's been pretty calm.
Yeah.
Everything I've worked on lately, tech-wise, seems to continue to work. I am frustrated by an occasional issue with the Amazon Recast, where the network just goes to sleep. And this is not just me. I've checked, I've read up, I've gone to their forums, I've read people online, and I've gone to Reddit, looked, and apparently there is an issue where the Ethernet light stays on. It doesn't matter if it's Wi-Fi or wired. Light will stay on the switch, but the light on the activity light on the Recast goes red. Normal state is white, so the only way you can disconnect and reconnect the network doesn't change anything. You have to actually reset the box.
Which box?
I was thinking,
wait,
the Recast,
Recast.
Okay. Powered off and back on again. When it goes into this weird state, what's so strange about it is you can still watch stuff with your Fire TV. You can't erase anything. And
so it's half-assed offline.
Yes, it's sort of connected. But if you use the Fire TV app, it shows the Recast as being offline. Because normally you could go in and do a reset of it with the app. You can't, because you can't talk to it. So something goes away, some protocol drops, but you're still able to get to the DVR function, even with it's on the network. So it works. You can watch the show. You just can't delete it. That's kind of weird. It's happened. I mean, in the whole time I've owned it, it maybe happened 3 times, but it happened twice in the last week, which I thought was odd. So what I did,
and they don't have a solution.
No, they give you a list of things to try, which is all the things you've already done. Make sure it's at the right level, firmware. Make sure you have your good connection. If it's Wi-Fi, I'm not Wi-Fi, I'm Ethernet. So the only thing I could think of is that in my home office here, I have a couple of switches, and I have one set of switches that sits in my rack that's got printers and things in it, has a gigabit switch and one 10100 switch. So the 10100 switch is old. That's the one it was connected to. So I think, well, I have another gig switch I bought and I haven't used. I swapped out. It was a 5-port. I swapped the 5-port for a 5-port,
Hmm.
and I figured, let's see if that makes a difference.
When was that?
Mm, 2, 3 days ago.
And so far, so good.
So far, so good. But it's worked before. I go months without having an issue.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully, there'll be something. Some people in the forum say that uh, Amazon was great. They're sending me another unit after they spent time with them or technician going through it. Other people said they were basically ignored. So who knows? But
I'm wondering if you can. I mean, it's Amazon. Order another one,
yeah, send the first one back. No, I
and
thought about that. Yeah, they would. I think they would honor it. If they really had a
I'm sure they
problem.
would. I mean, they don't
Yeah,
want to
you just
get.
have to be. You have to be. Don't go in there guns blazing because
Yeah,
it'll be there'll be nothing in their self interest to try to help you if
yeah,
you're
but you're
going in there
not.
screaming.
But you're really not going to be able to find out because, like you said, it may go months without any incident. But remember, you told me years ago about some kind of a wild packet or something like that. The
Oh yeah, a killer packet.
killer packet,
Yeah, it's definitely it'll clobber the
the
just
port.
because it doesn't mean that the physical interface is down, but the
Right.
protocol stack gets blown away. So you might be communicating over a certain port to the cloud, the Amazon cloud, or however when you use the app, obviously you're talking to the recast through the cloud. So that communication, that socket might be dead, right?
Mm.
But the connection, local connection, IP connection to the DVR still works. So it's not like they all use the same. They can't use the same socket. Obviously, they have a port and a socket.
How do you restart the box? What do you do?
Just disconnect the power and reconnect it.
And do you have to interact with it after you
No,
plug it
it
back
comes
in?
just comes up within a few. If you're looking at the app where it says that it's offline, within a few minutes it pops up online and it works. So
I mean, if
somebody suggested. I thought this is pretty ironic because I do this with with the Fire TV every so often. Is put a smart plug on the recast power supply. So if it goes bad, you just turn it off and back on again, and that fixes it. But remember, I tried to do that when I was having a problem with the Fire Stick.
no,
The Fire Stick every once in a while
yeah,
would just kind of the screen would kind of lock up, and hasn't happened recently. But the I thought I was being brilliant by putting a smart plug on the power that went to the network.
catch 22.
Well, if I turn off the network,
Yeah,
the smart plug won't work anymore.
right.
So
No,
now what
I
I have is I use one of those little remote smart plugs that are local. Remember the one with the little 5 little buttons on a stick? Remember the ones that you originally got to work with your original automation? You had that little black box that would translate from an app to the you remember those? You could buy a package of 5 of those little remote switches, but they're local, and you have a remote that's got 5 sets of buttons on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you press the button, it turns that
I don't
remote
remember.
socket on and off. Yeah,
No,
I have a
but but
couple of those.
what I was thinking is a lot simpler and a lot cheaper. A a timer, an actual timer, one of those lamp timers, and you do it like at 5 in the morning or 4 in the morning, and you make it go down for 1 minute
Yeah,
and come back up. But I mean, it's overkill. But
I'd rather know if there's a problem
yeah,
to
no,
reset it.
I agree.
Yeah, but yeah, the solution to have the independent non-Wi-Fi little controlled outlet inserts is the good one because I just have to have that little remote. I press off, I press on,
Yeah,
and it resets everything, and I know what's happening. So
I had a situation with the router with with the router for Wi-Fi at Omar's at the garage. Sometimes they'll come in the morning and there's no internet. And one of the offices, the car dealer, is using Wi-Fi. I mean, they had Wi-Fi on the wired computers and on the wired router that's in the shop, which is being used just for Wi-Fi. But up by the offices, there was no Wi-Fi. So the first time I went and I disconnected it and reconnected, it was okay. A few days later, it happened again. And I told them what to do if it happened. So a few days later, he said, yeah, it happened again. So what I did is I went and I actually got a digital timer that they sell now that's very cheap and you can set it up for like 10 seconds, 30 seconds, whatever. And I put it in line on that external router and never a problem since. So who knows what's doing it, but sometimes the low tech is the way to go with these things.
It's a mouse that's living inside the
Uh,
router. He comes and goes
yeah,
every
whatever.
day.
Now, talking
Yeah.
about returning to Amazon, listen to this story. A Virginia man pleaded guilty to ripping off Amazon.com to the tune of $300,000 by buying high ticket items and then moving to return them for full refunds, but sending back far cheaper items in the box. Farhad Riaz of Manassas admitted that between 2017 and 2020, he purchased hundreds of items on Amazon, ranging from high end electronics to rare guitars, bidets, things like that, but sent back substantially less expensive items after triggering a return. For example, in 2019, prosecutors said he purchased a 37,000 Sony 4K HDR laser home theater video projector.
How much was it?
When 37,000.
Oh,
When he received it, he claimed it had arrived too late, so he initiated the return. But while his card was credited the full 37,000 refund, he instead sent back a Sony 1080p 3X SXRD home theater and gaming projector worth around $2,000. When the FBI executed a search warrant on his home the following year, they found the more expensive systems there. The document, that's from the document. He also admitted he bought numerous top of the line Fender, Martin, and Gibson guitars from third party sellers on Amazon, but would send back inferior models. In one instance, he purchased a $2,700 limited edition flame top Fender Telecaster, but returned a $400 Squire Telecaster in the same color. So he did it kind of like scientifically. I mean, he put some thought into it, but dang,
it sounds like he never sold anything, though.
I
He
know
kept it
that's
all.
what I don't understand. I mean, why would you order all that stuff? There was more to the story. He ordered 4 bidets. I mean, high price commodes. That was like $4,400 each, and he claimed that one of them had missing parts, so they gave him a refund for it. The police also, they said they found all 4 still sealed in boxes at his house. So again, why are you buying that stuff?
I have a legal defense all figured out for him. It's a new kind of high tech hoarding disorder, right? He had to hoard stuff, right? But he had to get it this way. So
mean,
it's not his fault. It's not. He's going to run. He's going to go free because he's and if he had kept all of his purchases in California at $950 or less,
yeah,
he'd be fine.
really?
Yeah, because they don't prosecute anything under $950.
Damn.
Did you see the guy in the store? It was a great story because in cities in California, this is happening now, and I think other parts of the country too. But it's actually insane. If you purchase something, if you steal something in the store, or the total value of what you're stealing is less than $950, can't prosecute you. They won't even bother. So the store owners had to stand there and watch. A person would come in the store with a bag, fill it, counting how much the stuff was, and it was under $950, they'd walk out. Guards would stand there and see it happen. So this one guy in his shop, he fixed everything so all the prices were $951 on everything in the store.
Uh-huh. And you get a
And he would
discount
give
when you buy.
You walk in, everybody gets a coupon at the register that makes it the regular price.
Huh?
Brilliant. Now, whether that actually works or not, but it's still brilliant.
I don't know, but it's amazing. And reading that story, I mean, it's really ridiculous the way that Amazon is doing returns. But you know, it's understandable because they're such a big company. I mean, we returned a few things that were really bad. I mean, Kathy would order some spray for the garden, and it would leak. It was leaking all over in the bag,
Yeah,
and you could
I
see.
remember her telling me that. Yeah,
So,
really bad.
yeah, so you call and you said, "Look, it was leaking. I need a replacement." Okay, return it by such and such. You know, it's like $20-some. All right. But then when I bought the grill for the truck, and it wasn't what I thought it was, and I told them I need a refund. I want to send it back. I'm getting another one. They say, "Oh, no reason to return it. Just keep it." Here is something that was $180. And I'm saying, "What do you mean keep it? What kind?" You know, and it things like this happened when certain things they want back and certain things, don't worry about it.
I heard, this is a couple years ago, but a story about a guy who was complaining because he was a good customer. He'd ordered a lot of stuff from Amazon all year long, but apparently there's a way to get flagged for returns. If you
Yeah.
have so many returns within a certain period of time over a certain dollar value, it flags them. And he got this notification that they were canceling his account.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean to cancel him? You've returned too much stuff. What? It was all defective. It wasn't my opinion. It wasn't like I ordered a shirt and didn't like it. It was stuff that came broken and they still, I don't know what the outcome was, but he was very, very concerned about the fact that he got canceled for returning stuff that was legitimately bad. So I wonder if they've worked that out. That's another potential issue for anybody that has to return a lot of stuff. I know one of my customers that bought a bunch of furniture from an online furniture place, and when the stuff arrived, one of the dressers was damaged. It was pretty badly damaged. I mean, it wasn't like it was. Can you use it? No, the bottom was cracked, and they said, "We'll send you another one. What should I do with this one?" They said, "Throw it away." So I actually got it from her. She said, "Do you want to do that?" I looked at it. I said, I can. And my mind, you know how my mind works, right? I cut the bottom drawer section out, put new legs on it, and made it useful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I gave it to one of my kids, but they literally didn't want it back.
Yeah, and you can't figure out why they're doing it,
And she called them when they first delivered it damaged. She said, "It's out in front of my house." They haven't even looked at it yet. And they were like, "We don't care. It's getting wet." It was in the rain. So it was very strange.
And they're not the only ones. Now that Walmart is trying to compete. I told you a couple of weeks ago I was looking for salt for the water softener, and Walmart was the cheapest for a bag of 40 pounds of salt. But then when you order it and you see what the shipping is, oh, shoot, yeah, that's now, it comes closer to what. But there was the little thing at the bottom that says, if you get a trial membership to Walmart Plus, shipping is free. For 15 days, you can have a free. So I did. And I figured, and they don't let you order more than 5. So I did it again. And after the second one, it says, now you have it for a month. We extended your trial for a month.
So you did it again?
Great. No, so I ordered more.
Wow.
Yeah, boy, I have salt now. But that's not the point. The point is that last week, one day, when I wasn't home and Kathy just went out for about 15 minutes, Walmart delivered some groceries and some other items, all in their gray plastic shopping bags, like about 5 or 6 bags. And there were some Huggies in there and some fruit.
I didn't think you used Huggies anymore.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay.
I stopped. It was a lot of stuff. When she came in, she thought maybe I ordered stuff, so she brought it in and left it on the porch. When I got home and I'm looking at it and I'm saying, why didn't she there was some margarine. I said, why didn't she put it in the refrigerator? I guess Kathy went to Walmart. So I called her and I said, she came up there and said, what's this? She said, it's not ours. I don't use any of that stuff. Why would you buy it? I figured it's not ours. It was not ours. There was so I looked on the camera and I saw them at like about 9 something bringing those. The car came, stopped at the driveway at the mailbox, kept on going down the street and came back after about 4 minutes and pulled into the driveway. 2 people carrying those bags, putting them by our door, taking a picture and leaving. Okay. Then there was one package that was in those gray plastic, like Amazon Sands or like most of the stuff that comes from overseas.
Yeah.
And there was no address. There was a name. I guess it was like D dot something, but nothing else that made sense. So I looked again to see, because I didn't see them bring that to begin with. So then at 1:09 or something, I saw another car come by and pull in and put it there, taking a picture and leaving. So I called Walmart and I said, look, guys, you deliver something that's not ours. It belongs to somebody else. So the guy goes, so are you worried that your credit card is going to be charged? I said, no, it's not ours. You don't understand. It was somebody else ordered it and it's on their credit card, but it ended up at our house. So he said, do you have any information? I said, no, I have one package that came separately that has some information, but the bags have nothing in them, no paper. You don't know who they belong to. So he went back and forth, really like he did not understand what was going on. I had to repeat things. Finally, he found out that that package that had the label is another address on Wayne Street. And I said, do you have a phone number for them? And he said, yeah, but I cannot give it to you. I said, I don't want you to give it to me. I want you to give them my phone number and tell them that it's here and they can come pick it up. He said, I'll try. I don't know if I can. And I'm thinking to myself, why can't you? Anyway, long story short, he said, you can do with it whatever you want and throw it away. and we'll take care of the customer. And I'm saying to myself, what in the world is going on here? There was probably about $30, $40 worth of items in those bags. Can't you send one of the drivers and come and take it back and put it on the shelf?
You got to believe that they must make enough money.
That's not the point.
It doesn't. No, but it doesn't matter. To them, it's like it's not important. If the thing is, it could be perfectly good and reusable, but it costs more to go get it and bring it back, so their profit margin gets blown up if they do that. So why?
Yeah, I think
I've heard it. I've never been the recipient of something expensive that was shipped wrong and they told me to keep it, but I know people who have. They order something, it's the wrong model, and you can keep that one. We'll send you the right one, whatever it is. I mean, it could be a television.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, I don't understand stuff like that. I mean, it's not like they're only like about 3 miles away,
right?
And it's not like they don't deliver here. So they could have said, just keep it on the side and we'll pick it up on the next time a driver is in the neighborhood. Something like that. But to begin with, when he told me, I don't know how we can find out, I said, look, I put the perishables in the refrigerator. I'm going to charge you for storage. Figuring, they'll send somebody right away. It didn't.
Yep.
So I mean, if this happens 100 times a day, that's a loss. So and it took forever to find out who do I need to get in touch with. So I called and I said that I want to cancel the membership because I do not want my stuff to end up like that, and I don't want to support any company that's not set up. What is this shipping something? I don't care I ordered stuff from Amazon. It was like the 2 hours or whatever they call it, the fresh.
Yeah.
Each bag, not just one label and paper stapled to it, but more. And you knew who it was for. This here, nothing. No label, no paper stuck in the bag anywhere, nothing to show who it was for.
It was for Nick.
Yeah.
He ordered it and they put the wrong
Nick, did you order it?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
You ordered nappies?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, well, I mean, hey. Well, so I've been listening for. Sorry, I got a little bit of a late start to the day. Been listening for the last little bit.
Yeah.
You said, Amnon, if this happens 100 times a day, it doesn't, and I think that's why there's no policy and program in place for it. Think for them, the quality control side of it, it does not make sense for them to have to. They're going to have to send a driver to your house. They can't give somebody food once it's been delivered to you.
That's not cost effective.
It's not even cost effective. There might be some legality. What if you
Yeah, I understand.
Well, they
so,
can't.
right. so there's some butter or something. Yeah.
Foodstuffs, if they're delivered, they can't give them to the right. They can't come and take them and give them to somebody else.
I mean, this was like canned stuff.
Doesn't matter.
Like I said,
I mean, you could put a pinhole slice in the top of a can and put some toxin or something in there, and then they give it to the other person. They die, and now Walmart's on the hook for killing somebody. It's just not worth the liability of it.
The other thing is, the address was completely wrong. What kind of a delivery?
This is what happens when you have contractors, just regular contractors doing it.
Yeah.
But it's funny because it sounds like they drove into the neighborhood down the street.
They did.
Correct address and then came back and drove it down on. Well, maybe they couldn't find it and they said, well, we'll just drop it here. Because for them, from their perspective, there's no repercussions for they delivered it.
Well, here's the thing, though. I would assume as a contractor, I bet you there are repercussions. If you get a certain number, I wonder if you get dinged as the contractor your pay if you're delivering things incorrectly.
Hopefully.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not even aware of that.
They might not be.
As a vendor, they might, I got this great gig working for Walmart delivering stuff. Well, what are the terms and conditions? Terms and conditions?
Yeah.
Well, it just comes down to the scale and the size and the scope. And is it worth them losing out on, let's just say, what'd you say? I'm on $70 worth of groceries.
No, probably not that much. I
Okay,
wouldn't think, but
$50 worth
still.
of groceries.
Yeah, their cost is less than that, I'm sure.
Yeah, for them to send somebody to your house, and again,
I didn't expect
and
them
bring
to.
it.
I didn't expect.
No, but if they did, if they sent
Oh.
somebody to your house to pick it back up and then try to figure out where it needs to go, it's just not worth it. It's the same thing as Spence was talking about with the furniture. How the hell the company that they ordered the furniture from, the amount, the return shipping to get it back, and what are they going to do with it? Throw it away, because they're not going to be able to refurbish it. They're just going to throw it away. So you're going to, why spend the money on the shipping to get it back in your warehouse just to throw it away, which is exactly what they're going to do.
Yeah, this is what I like about the Amazon returns. That they actually have the reason why, and product damaged by shipping box okay. That's a good thing for them to know, that their Amazon box is okay, but the shipping, the actual box of the item is messed up. So it tells them, okay, we need to send it to the producer, to the manufacturer.
Or it goes through a stricter return policy of inspection before they throw it back into the bin to just resell it again.
And they've been in business longer as far as doing that stuff, and they perfected their returns and all that. And I'm sure they have good reasons not to ask you to send something back that is bulky and all that. And maybe there's insurance for it. I don't know. But yeah.
Got to figure out what their clip level is for loss prevention or for liability here, and figure out what you could order that's really, really cool. That if you tell them it's broken, they won't ask for it back.
No.
You probably could run a real racket with these companies doing this.
I'm sure.
Well, that's
do.
what.
Yeah,
that's what.
That earlier story about the guy that was ordered an expensive Gibson Stratocaster Fender Stratocaster guitar, rare, and he'd return a cheap model back with it, saying it was damaged. And he did this for years. Why did it? I mean, Amazon obviously caught on and prosecuted the guy. But how long did it take before their
2
system
years
flagged it?
Well, 3 years. 2017 through 2020.
Well, how much was the amount? $150,000?
$300,000.
$300,000 worth of merchandise.
But see, as crazy as that sounds for Amazon, $300,000, it's not even that much.
Oh, that's the one-day electric bill at what's his name's house, Bezos's house.
Anyway, so what's going on, Nick?
Not a whole lot. What's going on with you guys?
Nothing.
Yeah, quiet. You heading home for Christmas?
I am. Yes, sir. I leave this week.
All right.
Now, don't get stuck in New York with the new lockdown.
Oh, yes.
Hope you can make it home.
Who's on
Listen
lockdown?
to this.
Tuesday, Washington is announcing new steps.
Oh.
Yeah, they're doing a bunch of stuff. Listen to this, though, on Amazon.
Okay.
Amazon ships an estimated 1.6 million packages a day.
Yeah. So that's a drop.
To the same person?
Yeah, all to Amnon's house. They all just show up at Amnon's house, and he doesn't know what to do with it.
That's why he's got those shipping containers in the back.
Yeah, he's just putting all of his crap that shows up there that he didn't order. But when you think about shipping 1.6 million packages a day, even if 100 or even 500 of those even 1,000 of those packages not showing up in the right place, it's not worth even handling.
I guess
10,000 packages out of 1.6 million is still such a small number. And of course, it's not happening to 10,000 packages a day. It's probably happening to a couple hundred, maybe a few thousand a day at the most, at the worst time of the year, like right now. I had an issue the other day it's not Amazon or anybody else. Well, it's the postal service. Do you guys do the informed delivery from the postal service?
No, what's that?
I know people who do.
What is
Yeah, I
informed?
don't do it.
Informed delivery. It's a free service where they scan all of your mail, like the label on it, and they send you an email every day with what's coming in your mailbox.
Oh,
It's a great service that they offer. So it's just kind of a heads up to see kind of like, what's coming in the mail. So I got the emails like it was Saturday and then Monday and Tuesday. And I didn't get any mail. And I was like, what the hell's going on here? I was expecting some things in the mail and they just didn't come. They were on the informed delivery thing. They were on my dashboard, but they never showed up. I didn't get mail between Friday and then it all showed up on Wednesday. I just didn't get any mail. I'm not sure why. It's issues with running the routes. I don't know what the issue. I mean, the mail guy here didn't come until almost 7:00 last night. They just must be delayed, backed up.
yeah, they probably backed up this time of year, but I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah.
No. All right. So there was another story that I was reading about an artist on Instagram who went for about 10 years by the name at Metaverse. And last month, they just closed her account.
Nice.
No explanations, no nothing. She just has to wait and wait and never got anything back. That's an Instagram account. But obviously, who owns Instagram?
Yeah.
That and that's an artist who has been doing a lot of business there on Instagram and built a name for herself and all that. And they just she said that she talked with an attorney and didn't have enough money to do what it takes other than just to review it. And the attorney told her, he said, there's nothing you can do. It's theirs.
It's their platform. Absolutely.
Yep, absolutely.
Not your platform. It's not your account. It's their account on it's their account on their platform.
Yes. And
it's a crappy business practice, but
you get what you pay for.
Correct.
Every Monday on the BNI show, there's one thing that is always being mentioned. Mike always says to get a mailing list. If you have a business, don't leave it. I mean, he said, Facebook can close you down. YouTube can close you down. Any of these platforms can close you down. But if you have and you maintain locally a mailing list of all your customers, then you'll be fine. And it's true.
And it's the other thing about just having a website.
Yep.
I mean, you don't think about it, but just having a website that you control, that you handle, and you maintain. And it's
absolutely
that's 100% on you.
Yep.
I know businesses that use the one example of it is called Constant Contact.
Mm-hmm.
It's a social media contact service that they provide for small businesses that they
you pay for it.
Notice,
you pay
they
for
do
it.
surveys. I mean, they ask all these things.
You pay for it, Spence.
You pay for it.
Yeah.
And you better hope you own your own records if you tried to go somewhere else.
Well, so what about it?
Oh, just saying it was.
I thought
it's a way that people do that. They offload it to someone else, and they may or may not have access to their own records.
Well, Constant Contact, you do.
I'm sure they do. They were one of the first ones to do it.
Yeah.
But who knows what other bargain versions of that are out there.
So last Tuesday, Dell announced a new design concept for a laptop that's long-lived, easy to take apart and fix, and take a smaller toll on the climate. Called Concept Luna, the proof of concept laptop dreamed up by Dell's design team, has a number of unusual features that are intended to make repair and maintenance easy. No screwdrivers or glue solvents are needed to pry loose a broken keyboard or peel off a cracked screen. Both components simply pop free after a pair of keystones holding them in place are removed. The entire system contains far fewer screws than a typical Dell laptop, reducing the time needed to replace components. And you'll
Yeah, but
never.
if you drop it, it
Well.
turns into 500 pieces.
You'll never have to worry about replacing a broken fan because there isn't one. A shrunken down motherboard placed in the top cover allows the laptop to passively cool itself. So I guess the bottom part is just the keyboard and the drive.
I'm looking at the exploded view now of what it looks like.
So the motherboard is like in those all-in-one computers, and the truth is, those all-in-one computers do not have fans.
It's actually a Raspberry Pi. They hide that in there.
No, but
Bastards.
really, those all-in-one computers that is just the monitor and it's Nick, and even the older one, that Mac behind you.
Yes.
Does it have a fan? No.
Yeah, of course.
It does?
Yes, it does. Oh, absolutely.
It's just really quiet.
It's quiet until you put it under load.
Yeah.
If you go in there and peg your CPU, it will absolutely.
Well, I've seen a few of the Intel-based ones.
Oh, well, you're talking about the little guys, the Nooks and things like that are passive.
Or the Lenovo 600 series and 700 series, tiny micro desktops.
Yeah.
It's a single board.
No. I'm talking about those that the monitor is the computer. It's big. It's 17 inch.
I don't know of any of those that don't have fans. You have to have a fan.
Those are going to be laptop boards inside a monitor case. That's the simplest way to make it.
And the reason you need a fan in those is not even because of the heat of the
components, but
the elements,
monitor.
But because the monitor is going to be radiating that heat onto the elements on the other side, you need a fan to disperse some of that heat. It
seems like from the ones that I remember seeing that they did not have, but I may be wrong. It's interesting though. I mean, you put it up. This is why I always like power cases, that the power supply was mounted at the top end of the case instead of the bottom part of the case, because those fans in the power supplies are not long-lived, and many computers that had problems, when you go to look at them, the fan is stuck. But when it's up at the top, the heat just pulls the air through the whole case and cools it. So it's has something to say about it.
Passive is good if it's designed right.
Yeah, it definitely has to be designed right. If a person
likes to use their laptop on the couch and lays it down on that big fluffy pillow and it overheats.
Right. Forget that.
Now, what I like about the Luna design is that the floppy drive pops out really easy.
Floppy?
Yeah.
It has a floppy?
No.
Oh.
It doesn't.
All right. Spence, are you ready for specials?
I am. We're ready for specials. The last specials of this holiday season. And for, let's see, next week was what? We're going to be after Christmas. Going to be what, the 20s? When is Christmas? Friday or Saturday? Saturday. So Sunday, it'll be 26th. Okay. So not the last specials of the year. But yes, I'm ready. Are you ready?
All right. Bang. There you go.
There we go. Happy holidays to my parents who always make my visit home a time of love, affection, and tech support for their electronics. And it used to be true in a more simpler fashion, but my parents are gone and they never really had a lot of what I would call high-tech stuff in their house. Whatever was there, I put there, and I had to take care of it anyway, but that's all right. So,
And that Christmas tree looks like the one in front of
yeah. Oh, for the Subway, my
Subway.
Subway in the Crossroads. Nick, they have this gigantic tree. It's got to be 25 feet high. And normally it sits out by where the cars park. But I think we were speculating that the reason why it is where it was is because they didn't have a long enough extension cord this year. So they pushed it right up again, literally touching the awnings on the businesses there with this speaker that's blasting away. And you walk into the stores there, and Pam goes to the nail salon that's there right by that tree. And she says you got to walk by. It's just blasting away this music as you're walking in and out of the store. Very funny.
But it's a nice wow, 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 wow.
Yeah, it's inane music repeating itself. Oh well. All right. So Computers 2K Now specials for December 19th. It's getting pretty late, folks. You don't have an idea what you want, or it's not already on its way. It'd be tough. We were out at Walmart yesterday, and it was the most crowded parking lot I'd seen in a while. And I'm at Walmart at least once a week buying something. Usually it's stuff for a car or whatever. And it was pretty busy, and some of the shelves were a little thin. But it did have enough toys. The toy aisle had some issues, but we were good. Okay, so
right.
I went back to our three traditional retailers, Best Buy, Staples, and Office Depot, and wanted to see what they had for last-minute shoppers. So Best Buy has what they're calling the 72-hour flash sale. Now, it does end at midnight tonight, and they'll probably have another sale. But this is actually I highlighted some stuff here. Pretty good sale. Pretty good selection of stuff. I was better than I expected it to be, because most of the stuff, from what I could see as I scanned through this, was available and ready for pickup in the store. So, okay, starting with Best Buy, we have hang on 1 second. I have to make this just a little clearer. There we go. We've got an HP 15.6-inch i5 laptop, $469, which is $150 off. Got an Asus VivoBook 15.6-inch i3 for $349, which is $100 off. Got a Lenovo Chromebook Duet 10.1-inch. It's basically a tablet with an add-on keyboard, but it folds up and looks like a small laptop. $219, which is $80 off. If you are a Apple person, MacBook Pro 13.3 with an Apple M1 chip, 8 gig of memory, 256 SSD, latest model, for $1,099, which is $200 off. And I mean, more and more we see Apple sales, but it's actually a pretty good sale on an Apple MacBook. Got a couple of TVs on sale. TCL 43-inch Android TV for $229. That's $90 off. We've got a 70-inch TCL, essentially the same television, but 4K, for $499, which is $330 off the regular price. 70-inch television. Amazing.
Got to come with a new house.
Yeah, well, I'd have to redo my whole family room because it wouldn't fit with the furniture that we have now. I guess I could mount it on the ceiling. Just lay back in recliners and look at the ceiling. It would work. All right. Beats by Dr. Dre, studio wireless noise canceling headphones for $169, which is $180 off. Roku streaming stick 4K headphone edition, voice remote, for $29, $30 off. We've got a LG 27-inch monitor, FreeSync. It is a three-side virtually borderless design. So I guess the base side facing down is where you actually see some thickness to the screen, but the rest is just a very thin bezel around $169, which is $80 off. Getting into some more unusual stuff here now, we've got the Hover T Titan Electronic Self-Balancing Scooter Board for 179, save 170. So it's almost half price, half off.
Is this an arsonist version?
Yes. Yes.
Did they ever fix the battery
Oh, yeah,
catching
a long
fire
time
on a
ago.
lot of these?
Yeah, it was basically the charging circuit was crap.
Okay.
So it wasn't necessarily the batteries. It's just any lithium battery, if it's charged wrong, will
Mhm. Okay.
overheat. Okay, Bose Quiet Comfort 45 wireless noise canceling over the ear headphones, 279, which is 50 off. And I understand. I don't know that this is the latest model, but I was reading a review. Somebody said they got the very latest Bose, and they had the one before, and they were very happy with it. And they said they didn't think it was going to be possible for Bose to make it really remarkably better. And they said, no, it is better than the one before. I think I have this, the 45 is the one I've got. And it's excellent. I use it mainly when I travel. I get on an airplane. The noise cancellation is great. And I can actually hear things, listen to music or watch something on the entertainment system. Apple AirPods Pro 179, which is normally 249. Got a ThinkWare dash cam for $69.99, which is $20 off. And this was fascinating. I was just thinking about this the other day, is that I'm sure you could find a cassette deck. I know Mike used to say how he knew people that would refurbish old cassette decks and sell them. I mean, high-end cassette decks, put in new belts, new parts, and refurbish them and sell them for big money. So Ion, which is a company that led the way with the first USB connected turntable for vinyl records, has this now. It is a retro boombox, AM, FM stereo, cassette, Bluetooth, and USB connections to play audio files, and will record all of those inputs onto cassette, which is pretty cool. So if you have, I still have cassettes. I mean, I don't have many.
Yeah.
But I still have some stuff like cassettes of the kids when they were little singing songs and things like that. I saved all that stuff. $79 is 60 off. This is actually would be considered a unique gift. I mean, I threw away my last boombox a long time ago. I relegated. Actually, I take that back. I still do have an old CD player boombox in the garage. It still works. But the old cassette one, that's long gone. That would have been, gosh, over 30 years old if I kept it. So that's at Best Buy. Now, keep in mind that most of the things I mentioned on this page, the ones that have the red save amount on them, are all expiring today at midnight. Okay, Staples. They're also running special buys today. This is readily accessible on their website under deals. And they've got a HP 27-inch monitor for $169, normally $219. Asus VivoBook, Intel i5 12 gig of memory, 256 SSD for $549, which is normally $619. Got an HP all-in-one desktop, Intel i5, 8 gig of memory. This is a 24-inch screen, 256 SSD for $589, normally $569. Oh, $659. Sorry, got it backwards. A little dyslexic there. Lenovo IdeaPad 3i, 15-inch laptop, i3, 8 gig of memory, 4 gig onboard, 4 gig DIMM. Okay, that's funny that they would actually put that in the details. Whatever. 256 SSD, Windows 11, $479, normally $569. Nick, no, he's not there. I was going to say, didn't he recently? Somehow it was one of the Lenovo 3 series that he had either gotten or new purchased for somebody else that he was really happy with. I think they're great machines. All right, Amazon Fire HD 8-inch tablet, 10th generation, 64 gig for $84.99, which is normally $119. Got a Dell desktop Intel Core i5 8 gig, 256 SSD for $559, normally $699. Apple AirPods Pro is the other ones we talked about earlier were just AirPods. AirPods Pro, active noise cancellation earbuds, $199, normally $249, so $50 off. Amazon Echo Dot 4th generation streaming media speaker with clock for $34.99, normally $59.99. A Google Chromecast, Google TV streaming media player, $39.99, 10 off. The Amazon Echo 4th generation minus the clock feature for $59.99, normally $99. So it was actually cheaper to buy the Echo Dot 4th generation with the clock than to buy it without the clock. So unless there's a difference in the speaker, maybe the clock limits the speaker.
Well, one is a dot. This one is not a dot.
Oh, okay.
They look the same, yeah.
Well, check the difference. I'm not sure what the difference is.
Anyway.
Roku Ultra 4800R streaming device, 4K, HDR Dolby, Bluetooth streaming for $69, normally $99. And Bose Sport Wireless Bluetooth earbuds for $149, normally $179. Then we've got some cool stuff that's inexpensive now. I mean, and with family radio service, walkie-talkies like this, you do need to pay attention to what does and does not require a license. And when I say license, it's not like you have to pass an exam, but higher power ones and certain channels do require licensing. But most of these are dual mode, where they'll have some frequencies that you have to get a license for. But you can get the distance up to, 3 miles or more on line of sight with the license frequencies. $39 for the pair Midland X Talker 2-way radios, 2-pack. I've got the Eero dual band extender router for $83, normally $119. It's a good product. Eero makes some good stuff. They make a mesh product, but this is simply a dual band extender router. And finally, the only reason I mention this next printer is not because it's on sale. It isn't on sale. It's available.
Yeah.
Where it was so hard to find brother stuff in the store. And when you did see it, this is expensive. What? And I have a version of this. It looks just like mine, although mine is older, quite a bit older. Same functionality. It doesn't have wireless, but it doesn't have duplex. But it is my go-to printer. I use it for scanning. I use it for printing. I use it for printing labels. $219 is not bad, considering what you're getting here in a brother product. You can get it also you can purchase for it, I don't know if it comes with it, a high capacity toner cartridge, which will last years and years and years of casual use, which is nice.
Again, depends what you do.
Yeah, it depends on what you do.
Yep.
But they are good small business duty cycle machines. They're meant to be used. So don't worry about, you're going to use it for a small business. I think you're going to get good service out of it. I have a small business printer only that I bought for business years ago. That still is a workhorse, and it duplex wireless, doesn't have any other features. Not a scanner. It's not a document feeder, but a good small business device. All right, that's for Staples, and finally, Office Depot Office Max. You're looking for an easy solution of something to give somebody. You don't want to have to buy multiple things at once. They've got some bundles here that are actually pretty interesting. I don't know that if you could add it up, it was really a good price. But the point was that they have an essentials working bundle, which includes a keyboard and wireless keyboard and mouse combo, a USB connected gaming headset, a monitor, and a camera for $285. And then they have a tech productivity working bundle, which includes an Acer monitor. The other monitor was I can't see what the brand is.
Doesn't matter.
Element monitor. But now you're getting up a little bit better. 27-inch Element monitor, Lenovo IdeaPad i3 laptop, a JLab wireless headset, a Logitech MK550 keyboard and ambidextrous wireless mouse combo, and a Logitech 520 920S webcam for $840. That includes the laptop. And then finally, the high-end Tech Professional Working Bundle, a Dell 27-inch gaming monitor, a Dell 3511 i7 laptop, Logitech 922 Pro Stream camera, Logitech wireless keyboard and mouse, contoured curved full screen, and a Logitech Zone Wireless Plus headset. And that's for $1324. So if you're looking, make your stuff simple. If you're going to spend the money, easy. Okay, so they've got an HP Pavilion desktop computer Ryzen 7 for $569, which is normally $724. Here's again the IdeaPad i3, but this is a 17.3-inch. It's $449, normally $619. They've got Logitech MK550 wireless contoured mouse keyboard combo for $50.99. It gives you an idea what the price is. This is some of the components that are above. And the Logitech 920S Pro HD megapixel camera, 50 megapixel camera for $59. HP Slim desktop bundle, 23.8-inch screen, Ryzen 3 for $489, save $85. Asus VivoBook 15, AMD Ryzen 3, $349, save $140. And finally, an HP all-in-one 27-inch screen, AMD Ryzen 5 for $699, save $80. There's lots of stuff out there available in store or for rapid shipping to make it in time if you've waited too long.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to get us something, make sure you order it now so we get it in time.
And if you want to see,
don't ship it to Amazon.
And if you want to see that document that Spence just read out of, it's on computerstokaynow.com/special. And it will be there.
And it's $14.95 to download. No, it's not. Well, special. It's a special today free.
All right.
When you mentioned before the Dell prototype
Luna
laptop, I like the concept. I just hope it's not going to make it so it's so expensive that people don't buy it. Because if it costs, you're going to get this new laptop, and there'll be people that will buy it simply because of its environmental impact. But at the same time, the average person's going to look at that and go, $200 more? I'm not buying it. So I hope that they've worked it out so that it's actually, they've thought it through. So it makes sense.
No.
I don't have no problem with them doing it. So.
All right. Those of you that have YouTube TV. Last week, YouTube TV warned that it could lose all Disney-owned channels after Friday because of a contract dispute, and said it will temporarily reduce its price by $15 a month if that happens. We're now in negotiation with Disney and continue distributing their content on YouTube TV, so you can continue watching everything from our favorite teams on ESPN to The Bachelor to Good Morning America. It was going to go from $64.99 to $65 to $50. But yesterday morning, they put out YouTube TV has failed to reach an 11th hour deal with Disney to keep more than a dozen Disney-owned channels on the live TV streaming service. As of December 18th, popular networks, including ESPN and ABC, have been removed from the service. As promised, YouTube TV has dropped its subscription to $50 per month as a direct result of the lost programming. Disney said in a statement late Friday that after ongoing negotiation with YouTube TV, they have declined to reach a fair deal with us based on market terms and conditions. So YouTube TV does not have Disney anymore or anything that's associated with Disney, namely or mainly ESPN, ABC.
This is big. And the reason it's
Yeah.
so big is a lot of people that are buying live sports, a lot of people that are buying services like YouTube. So obviously you can, for your local channels, you can throw up an antenna and watch those things over the air, right?
Yeah.
Your CBS, your NBC, ABC, stuff like that. A lot of the reason that people buy a service like YouTube TV is specifically for ESPN.
Right.
It's what a lot of people are doing. And for them to lose ESPN, that's going to be really, really damning for YouTube TV. And that makes me wonder, is Disney Plus going to just bring these channels to them and do their own thing?
They should. I mean, it's their stuff.
Well, they shouldn't, but because that's going to destroy YouTube TV. Ain't nobody going to be buying YouTube TV.
Well, they're going to come up with some other combination.
Yeah, well, they can come up with whatever they want, but I mean, I would assume a lot of the subscribers to YouTube, I know a couple of them, they're buying it because they watch stuff on ESPN.
So apparently, Disney knows the value.
They absolutely do know
and
the
they
value.
probably asked for more than what Google was willing to pay.
Exactly.
And it's interesting. I mean, they lowered it by $15, but they said that to subscribe to Disney Plus is 13 something.
But I don't think Disney Plus has live channels.
I don't know.
I could be wrong.
So it's interesting. And there is Gene. Hey, Gene. Hey, Gene. Hello. Gene.
Yes.
There you are.
Good morning.
Morning.
I know you might have got my email, Amon. I wanted to talk about that problem I have with my browsers, where I get the server not found occasionally. Can I talk about that a second and ask a question?
Yeah.
Okay. I usually use Mozilla Firefox, and all of a sudden, I don't know, out of the blue, I didn't make any changes or anything like that I can remember, large changes. But all of a sudden, I started, when I'd open up my home page, some of the tabs would come up, server not found. And if I went up there and just right-clicked on it and said reload tab, it would come up. So I was wondering what's going on. I thought, well, maybe it's Mozilla. So I tried, I opened up Chrome and did the same thing, and I had the same problem, and I had the same problem with Edge. So I'm concluding from that it's not the browser. So I Googled the problem. And if I Google a problem, I get a lot of comments on the fact that it's my IP address. I ought to get a different IP address or a more stable IP address and that kind of thing. I don't know if that's right or not.
No.
But I'm just asking.
So when you go ahead, Nick.
I was going to say, Gene, who is your DNS provider?
Amnon, Delta Force.
No.
Oh.
No, who is your internet provider? Internet, the access.
Spectrum.
So you're using Spectrum's DNS.
That's the first thing I would change, Gene, on the computer that you're having an issue on. I'll throw an article in the chat room. I would update your DNS and set your DNS to Google or somebody else and see if the problem goes away. If it's happening sporadically and it's saying server not found, it's got to be DNS.
Yeah. Okay. Now, that's what some of the comments said, that I ought to go to that Google or whatever. Can you just send me the instructions on how to do that?
Yeah, I'll throw it in the chat, and then Amnon can maybe.
And you can,
relay
and you
it.
can always call me, and I'll tell you. I mean, it's pretty easy.
Okay.
What, are you on Windows 10, Gene?
Excuse me?
Are you on Windows 10?
Yes.
Okay. I will throw a guide in there right now.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Absolutely.
Right. See you guys. Happy
Merry
holidays.
Christmas, Gene.
Right.
So yeah, so that's a relatively that's not a relatively common issue, but let's do a bit of a backstory here on what DNS is and what its role is. When you go to google.com, the web server is not actually sitting at google.com, it's sitting at an IP address. And the reason that you can get to google.com is because the phone book, which is what DNS is for all intents and purposes, knows that when you type in google.com, send your traffic to this specific location.
Mm-hmm.
And when you've got issues with your DNS, which it sounds like that's what Gene is having, sometimes the phone book doesn't work and it goes, oh, I don't know what google.com is. So it'll say server not found, or give you some sort of other DNS timeout or a DNS resolution error, and it'll time out.
Right.
And that tends to be more common with the ISP DNS providers, at least in my experience.
And actually, you can you can flush it because it has a cache on your machine.
Yeah,
you can flush it, but it's much better to use Google. It's free and it works. I use it myself. I mean, I have my own DNS on Delta Force. I use Google.
Mm-hmm.
It just
Google or RAM. Who's 1111? Is that a Rackspace?
not sure.
Cloudflare.
Cloudflare. Yeah, that's
Cloudflare.
Right.
Yeah. So 8888 and 1111 are
Yeah.
both two good solutions. So I just threw an article in the chat about how to change your DNS. It doesn't require you to do. It's not very complicated to do on Windows, and that probably will resolve the issue.
Yep. All right.
And if you want to go to the advanced step for it, you would set your DNS on your router, and then it would propagate to all of your devices and your machines on the network. But that's an advanced step of moving forward with DHCP.
Yep.
Look at that. What a novel concept. Calling in about a computer problem. It's like you're back in the 90s, Amnon.
DNS.
DNS.
Amnon, I'm sorry I didn't bring bagels to the studio this morning like I used to.
Did you used to bring bagels?
Yeah, and bagels and we used to bring donuts. And
a good New Yorker, Spence. Never. It doesn't matter how long you're out of New York. Always a good New Yorker.
Yeah.
Have either of you had any experience using the Helium network?
No.
What network?
Helium network. It is a shared network. I'm still just digesting. Somebody sent me a link to it the other day, and I hadn't heard of it, and I've been reading about it. It is they call it the People's Network, and it's what it is creating a big broadband network across the world that uses your internet connection to create hotspots. And they've got all kinds of use cases for different technologies to use it. And plus they also mine cryptocurrency. And I still haven't wrapped my head around that part of it yet. Is it that you're allowing them to use resources to mine cryptocurrency and you get the benefit of it? Or so I'm trying to understand it. But the neat part about it is you sign up for this. And I'm still, like I said, I'm not sure exactly what your commitment to it is, but they have things like tracking companies that provide low-cost tracking methodologies for businesses. They have people that manage agriculture using it. They have elder care companies that use it to provide like a global network. And the coverage is getting to be pretty respectable. And I remember in the early days of AT&T having internet connectivity in the home, they would have an access point for you, and they would have another access point to build their.
Yeah, they were trying to force it.
Yeah, you would use your infrastructure then to provide Wi-Fi as a as an external network to other users. Kind of the way Spectrum, I don't know that Spectrum uses homeowners networks.
They do.
They do? Yeah.
I think.
But I don't have their equipment, so I don't have it. But,
yeah, I just have their modem. So
yeah. But the Helium network, it's pretty fascinating. You look at, but I can't find a really good like overall, I got to find like a write-up on what their business plan is or something. But they mine crypto with radio. It says the People's Network is powered by an entirely new incentive model made possible by the Helium blockchain. So that you can actually, that's the payment you get for letting them use the network, is that you get to mine, not Bitcoin, but whatever I'm not sure what particular currency they're using, but it's an interesting concept. Let's see.
Yeah, I wonder if you get your money's worth though between electricity and resources.
Oh, they got a lot of Bobcat, CalChip, CloudPod Control, Dragino, Finestra. They use all these different cryptocurrencies. But it shows you get some equipment. You've got some type of a box that's installed in your home, and then you can have an access point. I don't know that you buy it, or it says a list. I found a list of vendors, a whole bunch of different vendors for installing this weather-hardened access point. I guess you put it outside. But someone sent me a link to this the other day, and I've just been dribs and drabs. I've been reading about it, but I want to understand it. Documents. Here we go. Maybe I can actually find their introduction. Here, I found it. Okay. Welcome to Helium. So I thought this would be something you'd be interested in, Nick.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, kind of cool. So it's just helium.com.
So this here is interesting, and actually, I was looking, and I fell maybe in the same trap. 4 years running, we've been jazzed by the potential of HDMI 2.1, the relatively new video connector standard that can provide variable refresh rates, automatic low latency connections, and of course, a giant pipe with 48 gigabits of bandwidth and fixed rate signaling to deliver up to 10K resolution and up to 120 hertz refresh rate, depending on your cable and compression. But today, they're learning that not only are all those features technically optional, but that the HDMI standards body owner actually encourages TV and monitor manufacturers that have none of those things, zilch, to effectively lie and call them HDMI 2.1 anyhow. That's the word from TFT Central, which confronted the HDMI licensing administrator with the news that Xiaomi was selling an HDMI 2.1 monitor that supported no HDMI 2.1 features, and was told this was a perfectly reasonable state of affairs. It's infuriating, he says. It means countless people, some whom we've encouraged in our reviews to seek out HDMI 2.1 products, may get fooled into fake future-proofing if they don't look at the fine print to see whether features like ALLM, VRR, or even high refresh rates are possible. Worse, they'll get fooled for no particular reason. There was a perfectly good versions of HDMI without those features called HDMI 2.0. But the HDMI licensing administrator decided to kill off that brand when it introduces the new one. Very little of this is actually news. We technically should have known that HDMI 2.1's marquee features would be optional for a while now. And here at The Verge, we've seen many a TV shipped without full support. Now, in one story about shopping for the best gaming TVs for PS5 and Xbox Series X and we characterize it as early growing pains. So if you're going to go, it sounds like if you're going to go buy a TV and you see that some of them have HDMI 2.1, other ones don't mention it, you say, well, yeah, I want to get the latest. And really, they don't have anything. That is infuriating that they will be doing this. This is sort of like what AT&T did with 5G, right? They put on it that it is 5G, but it wasn't.
The only, well, I shouldn't say the only difference. The difference is that HDMI cables are certified. So if you're not up to the certification, you're not allowed to use the logo. But who's going to enforce that?
Yeah,
And that's the problem.
Yeah, but here they're talking about the devices that would have variable refresh rates,
Yeah, 120 hertz. Yeah,
automatic low latency, and the pipe that really wow. I mean, 48 gigabits of bandwidth at once.
Yeah,
and they don't really have it. But the body that controls HDMI licensing said, "Hey, put it there anyway." That's interesting. All right.
So just a quick update on what I was talking about, helium. It's what they call a low RA WAN. It's a low power radio network that's built for IoT. So
Really?
if you want to have something that's a global IoT solution that works outside of your home, you sign up for this, and what you do is you provide a hotspot for basically building the mesh, the IoT mesh, using this low RA WAN technology. So,
And the hardware is already in your router?
no, it's not. And I don't think you actually use your not sure what the involvement of your own internet is, whether it's
this is a
part of it.
separate. You're creating essentially a
Okay.
separate network.
A separate network. But the IoT side of it is monitor low power monitoring devices for tracking, shipping, monitoring.
So you have
all
to get
different-
hardware.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you get rewarded for doing this by getting that you participate in the
The mining and the profits of the mining.
helium mining. The HNT is their cryptocurrency.
Mm.
So you get paid in their cryptocurrency to use it. It's fascinating. I looked at the map and I was astounded to see how big it is already. So, and
Yeah. If it's
mean, just the-
growing,
the,
it must be something.
think about it. If with all the disparate internet providers and IoT, how would you ever get an IoT solution that would leave your home successfully? And this is the way to do it.
Yeah, you could do that. Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
you can have your refrigerator talk to my refrigerator without any issues.
And then you can see all the crap that Amnon accidentally gets from
That's
Walmart.
right. Hey, yes, maybe that's what you need to get to Walmart and tell them they need to install IoT chips in all their food. Maybe it's already in there. Maybe there's already nanobots in all food anywhere, so they know what we're eating.
Yeah, not so nano. Anyway, BitDefender, which is a good antivirus. BitDefender will no longer, be distributing or supporting the free version of its antivirus software for Windows as of December 31st. Existing BitDefender free users will continue to be supported until the middle of next year, June 30th. giving those current users plenty of time to consider an alternative. The company will also be offering existing BitDefender free users a special discounted price on its premium BitDefender Total Security via private email. So if you're using BitDefender, the free version, expect an email from them about upgrading to the premium version. They've been around for a long time. They're one of the better ones, I would say. All right. Remember we were talking about AirTags last week and how thieves use them
Yes, sir.
to tag and all that. So Apple has released a new Android app called Tracker Detect, designed to help people who don't own iPhones or iPads to identify unexpected AirTags and other Find Me network equipped sensors that may be nearby. The new app, which Apple released on the Google Play Store Monday, is intended to help people look for items trackers compatible with Apple's Find My network. If you think someone is using AirTag or another device to track your location, the app says, you can scan to try to find it. If the Tracker Detect app, if the Tracker Detector app finds an unexpected AirTag that's away from its owner, for example, it will be marked in the apps as unknown AirTag. The Android app can then play a sound within 10 minutes of identifying the tracker. It may take up to 15 minutes after a tracker is separated from its owner before it shows up in the app. So that's an app that you can download and use to make sure that nobody's tracking you with a device. So maybe they won't be able to steal cars, like we talked about last week. That was pretty fast. Remember also we were talking about Verizon and collecting data. So there was another article. The Verizon has sent an email to customers to let them know they are getting opted into its custom experience data collection scheme after reports came out about it being turned on by default for some users. If you, understandably, trash the email without reading it, the TLDR, too long, what is it?
Too long, didn't read.
Didn't read, is that Verizon program collects data about your apps and web browsing activity to help, quote unquote, provide you personalized experience with Verizon. But of course, Verizon says you have a choice. You can turn it off anytime because your privacy is important to it, though not important enough to make the program opt in instead of opt out. Custom Experience is a sort of spin off / successor / rebrand of Verizon Selects, which people were enrolled into when they used the Verizon Up Rewards program. So Verizon Selects has now been rebranded as Custom Experience Plus, while the Custom Experience with the new limits of tracking is rolling out to most customers who don't actively opt out. So now they're saying the email promises that you're in control, saying that you can opt out within the next 30 days before the custom experience is turned on for your line. Wiggle waggle? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
That's Verizon.
What are they calling it? What's the new rebranded name again?
It is Verizon Experience. Where is it? Custom Experience. You still have Verizon?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, in Windows 11, Microsoft started shifting options from the control panel to the Settings app in Windows 8. The company has gradually moved settings away from the control panel since then. Quite a few options migrated over with the rollout of Windows 11. But the recent insider build of Windows 11 moved a small handful of settings to the Settings app. Microsoft outlined the changes in the release notes of Windows 11 build 22509, which came out on December 1st. The moves garnered attention from several outlets over the last week. And number one was we have moved the advanced sharing settings, such as network discovery, file and printing sharing, and public folder sharing, to a new page in Settings app under Advanced Network Settings. 2, we've made some updates to the device-specific pages under Printers and Scanners in Settings to show more information about your printer or scanner directly in Settings when available. And number 3, some of the entry points for network and devices settings in the control panel will now redirect to the corresponding pages in Settings. It sort of like makes sense to be all in Settings. Why they couldn't put the whole thing, just rename control panel to Settings and done away with? I don't know. But again, I'm not a programmer.
It's called job security.
Yep. And that's another interesting thing about Windows 11. Microsoft is planning to make its Windows terminal the default command line experience in Windows 11 next year.
What the hell's the default now?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Oh, they talk about PowerShell instead of CMD? CMD is not a terminal. PowerShell is, I think.
Yeah.
I think. I'm not positive of that.
It says, while Windows 11 currently supports setting Windows Terminal as default, the default terminal emulator has always been the Windows console host.
Yeah, so CMD, PowerShell's the terminal.
Okay.
Yeah, because I just searched for on Windows 11 Windows Terminal and it opens up. Well, that's weird because there's two different programs. There's Windows Terminal,
right?
And then there's Windows PowerShell. But Terminal is PowerShell. When I just opened it, it says Windows PowerShell and it's in the same location. But the terminal, like you can create multiple terminal instances. It's
like an FTP.
No, it's not like FTP at all.
I mean, it's a terminal.
Yeah, it's a terminal. Yeah. PowerShell is just you can have multiple terminal instances running and doing different things similar to how you would do it on a Unix-based system.
Okay.
You can open the Azure Shell Cloud, things like that.
Microsoft hasn't ever officially supported replacing this console host, meaning that Command Prompt and PowerShell always open in Windows console host. Over the course of 2022, we are planning to make Windows Terminal the default experience on Windows 11 devices. She's Kayla, program manager for Windows Terminal at Microsoft, and we will start with the Windows Insider programs and start moving through rings until we reach everyone on Windows 11. Okay.
I just changed mine to terminal instead of CMD. I'm curious what it'll do.
And when you are in it now, can you run like ipconfig? Try that. That'll be interesting because they're not talking about it to be a command line.
Yeah, ipconfig still runs.
All right.
It's
So,
PowerShell.
interesting. Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
So
Listen to this. India has approved a $10 billion incentive plan to attract semiconductor fabricators and display manufacturers, its technology minister said on Wednesday, as part of an effort to establish itself as a global electronics production hub. So Israel's Tower Semiconductor, Foxconn, and a Singapore-based consortium have all shown interest in setting up semiconductor fabrication units in India.
That is until China gets a hold of them and starts grabbing them around the neck and stops them.
New Delhi also approved the Design Linked Incentive, DLI, plan to encourage 100 local companies in semiconductor design for integrated circuits and chipsets. I don't know. I mean, you know, it's talking about China and grabbing it. I remember, Nick, you mentioned sometime last show before, whatever, about China's slowing down or something is going to collapse. I think you did.
their housing market.
Okay. Well, I was reading something that one of the biggest companies defaulted on
Evergreen. Evergreen is a real estate development company in China that finally, after going through like 2 years of controlled collapse, is finally defaulted. And it didn't turn out to be as gigantic a single event yet, but there's the second largest one and is also in terrible trouble now because of all the promises they made and took people's money as deposits for building apartments. And then now they're not building them and they're not giving the money back.
Okay. It's just interesting. So I don't know.
It was Evergrande, not Evergreen. Sorry.
Evergrande?
Evergrande.
Oh, Evergrande.
Yeah, Evergrande it. Yeah.
Now, I'm never into the latest phones and all that, but this one goes. Pixel 6 line, Android12, with a Go edition, plans to bring many of the enhancements and features to lower-end phones too. Google on Tuesday unveiled a host of new features for the Go edition that are set to roll out to devices in 2022. They said that in addition to speed enhancements, that'll help apps launch up to 30% faster. Android 12 Go Edition will include a feature that'll have battery life and storage by automatically save battery life and storage by automatically hibernating apps that haven't been used for extended period of time. And with the Files Go app, you'll be able to recover files within 30 days of deletion. Android 12 Go Edition will also help you easily translate any content, listen to the news, and share apps with nearby devices offline to save data. The company said Android Go has amassed 200 million users so far. So even on older phones, they'll be able to install Android 12, the Go edition. It's interesting. Maybe my phone will do all these things.
Remember the joke scam a couple years ago? How they showed several phones. They put them on a table and they put popcorn kernels in the center of the table. And they did something all like 3 or 4 phones and the popcorn popped. It wasn't real,
Yeah.
but
And
it was, however they did it, it looked real. Like, oh, the dangers of cell phones. My goodness.
now, last week, we also talked about that log4shell,
Log.js, yeah.
log.js. That is turning out to be a real serious thing.
Oh yeah, it was, I saw, I posted it in our Signal channel. It was on Fox.
Yep.
They were talking about it on Fox Business the other day.
So the U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency has told federal civilian agency to patch systems affected by the log4shell vulnerability by Christmas Eve. The agency has added yesterday the log4shell bug. It's not log4j, so I don't know if it's the same thing, to its catalog of actively exploited vulnerabilities, along with 12 other security flaws. According to this catalog, federal agencies have 10 days at their disposal to test which of their internal apps and servers utilize the log4j Java library. So it is. Check if systems are vulnerable to the log4shell exploit and patch affected servers. All of this must be done by December 24th, according to a timeline provided in the catalog. In addition, CISA has also launched yesterday a dedicated webpage provided guidance to the U.S. public and private sector regarding the log4shell vulnerability. And this is just in time from when they were talking about the White House saying that, and actually the president is signing some order that more and more services should be online, not the way that they were used to do it for years, but they need to go and do it online. That which brought a real thought provoking in my mind, that why do they always say that voting cards are discriminating?
Why do they say that? What?
Voting cards, ID cards for voting.
Oh,
Because a lot of the older minorities and all that, they can't go and get it. So they're
that's
not
what
going.
they say. Yeah.
Yeah. But this is okay for the government to sign into law that you have to do it online. So now
I
what?
guess so.
All these people have computers, right? It's just amazing. But anyway, yeah, this is it's probably going to cause a lot of problems. And can you imagine if the system to pay taxes gets a ransom attack?
Wouldn't surprise me with the IRS's aging infrastructure.
I know. Yeah. All right. What else?
Nothing really.
Spence?
Uh,
Anything?
John and I were going back and forth in text about 5G rollout and how there are still issues. There are still some delays in some areas where they're implementing this because of concerns by the FAA. And and we were going back and forth, and John was joking about planes falling out of the sky. But the issue that I read about was that the concentration of 5G devices inside the fuselage of the plane. That, remember in the beginning, you couldn't use your cell phone, you couldn't even have
Right.
it turned on. And they realized that it wasn't quite as serious a issue with the 4G technology, 3G technology going backwards. But 5G uses different frequencies. And with the redesignation, where they took away some radar frequencies and put them into 5G and some other things, there is a real danger of concentrating 5G devices inside the plane. How they can, due to the shape of the plane, the fact that it comes together in the front and aluminum and all that, it can affect the instruments. So they're still not really sure, supposedly. Now, maybe this is old news, but there are some issues around 5G rollout that could affect aviation. And why? And it was right up, like delayed some rollout in some part of the country, like just a couple of days before they were going to turn it on because the FAA raised a concern. It's like, you just thought of this now?
So what are they doing? They're going to change the shape of the plane?
They can't. Like they may, yeah, they'll make it square in the front instead of round.
Well, they may aerodynamically like having a square.
They may require people have 5G turned off when they're on the plane. I don't know. They could harden. They could go through and harden the stuff that's in the cockpit, but I don't
so
know.
now the attendants, the stewardesses and stewards have to go around. Do you have 5G? Switch it to 4G.
They'll have a 5G detector that'll light up green when it comes to a person that's got a 5G phone turned on. They'll throw you off the plane.
So there's going to be a light up there where
above your seat. And they'll go around with they'll duct tape you to your seat.
Oh boy. Oh. Anyway.
You can't make this stuff up.
No. Nope. Okay. So Nick, when are you leaving? Wednesday?
Thursday.
Cutting it close.
No, that's the schedule.
You're flying, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's fine.
Well, good luck. Be safe. Say hi to the family.
Will do. I'll be here Sunday.
Ask them what time dinner is on Christmas.
You're going to do the show from the house?
Yeah, of course.
Is it still set up?
No.
Oh.
What should we bring for Christmas dinner?
That's a great question.
I'll bring the sweet potato casserole with the marshmallows on top. And now you can bring hummus.
Yeah, sure. All right.
Nick, well, one last thing before we go. Nick, my daughter's been getting into ancestry stuff again. We had done some research into our family upstate New York and got back into it again. And I uncovered a whole bunch of stuff my mother had. I didn't know about. I knew about it, but I never really read it. And it turns out that one of my ancestors was not responsible for, but part of the first people that built in the city of Kingston.
Really?
And were not founders per se, but like one of the large landowners when Kingston was first put on the map, essentially. And so, yeah, it's interesting finding out the good and the bad about our family's involvement in some things.
Very cool.
Yeah. Ulster County.
Okay. Anything else? Going once?
Yeah. A couple notes about infection.
Yeah.
Let's see. Mike in the chat. That might be my father. I can't tell. He said the dinner's at 4:30, so I'm not sure if that might be him. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Infection is going to be live on Monday this week, and then we're doing a special Christmas edition, all talking about blockchains and NFT in the video game industry for next Tuesday. So look forward to those two things.
So you have a show on Monday and then another show on Tuesday?
No, our show is on Monday this week, and then next Tuesday we're doing
the week after.
Special.
Okay.
Yep, we're doing kind of a special. No news in terms of our normal stuff, but it'll be an interesting show. We're doing a whole breakdown on blockchain and NFT gaming and how what kind of impacts that can have. And there's even some big developers that have jumped on board it. Well, we really don't know if it's just going to be a buzzword or a kind of a flash pan thing, or if it's actually going to stick around. So we'll have to wait and see. So yeah,
All right.
That's what's coming up.
Okay, and we'll repeat it in a minute when I'm ending the outro. So thanks, Spence. Thanks, Nick. And good morning, Kathy, Hannah, Nabil, Mac, Norm, Katie and Donna, Dina, Arlette and Micha, Eleanor, Sarid, Trish. Welcome. Thank you all for tuning to Computers 2K Now. We hope you enjoyed and maybe learned something from our time together. Remember to practice safe computing, back up your hard drive, and update your virus scanner. We'll be back here next Sunday at 9, but you can always reach us at computers2know.com. Again, Nick does his morning shows Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. on Wilmington's 980 The Wave and 107.9 FM. You can listen to the recordings of all the shows archived on nickcraig.com. And like Nick just said, usually on Tuesday, 7 p.m., Nick and Brian do the Infection podcast for survival games. But this coming week, it's going to be on Monday night. And the following week, after Christmas, it's going to be on Tuesday night. But it's not going to be just news about gaming and all that. They're going to be talking about, say again,
blockchain and NFT gaming.
All right. Everybody have a Merry Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas.
Stay safe. And we'll see you next week.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. If you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section at nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by StreamingGear.com, Carolina Apparel, and DeltaForce.net.